Students, this is the Perlis try paper for reading. For part 1, make sure that you read the question and underline the part of the text which answers the question. And remember that you have to examine the options A, B, C and decide which is the closest to answering the questions. Let's look at the first question. Here you have part 1, question 1 to 8. Read the text carefully in each question and choose the best answer A, B or C. For each question, mark the correct answer A, B or C on your answer sheet. So here remember, you have to look at the keywords. Now for part 2, read the whole sentence, ignoring the gap which you have to fill. Read the sentence again and look at the 4 options. This part often tests your knowledge of collocations. Remember that collocations are 2 or 3 words in English that go next to each other in a sentence. So read the whole sentence, then think about the words which are before and after the gap. So look at the options A, B, C, D and decide which fits best with the words before and after. For part 3, it is wiser to quickly read the questions first. Underline the most important words in the question. Then only you read the whole text in a couple of minutes to have an idea what information each section or paragraph contains. Write 1 or 2 words about the information contained next to each section if you find this is useful.
Right now, somewhere in the world, Tom Tersic is walking. He started his hike in April 2015 and is still going. His intention is to walk across every continent in the world. Tom made the decision to travel the world after one of his close friends died at the age of 17. The tragedy encouraged Tom to make the most of his own life. He spent the next few years completing college and working to save money, and in 2015, he finally quitted his job, packed a few belongings and set off on foot from his home in New Jersey, USA. He took a route south through the USA and Central America and down the west coast of South America. After that, he traveled to Antarctica and Europe aboard a ship, and he is currently walking across North Africa. From there, he'll hike east through Asia and Australia. Then he plans to fly to the west coast of the USA and cross that on foot, back his destination, New Jersey. Tom isn't walking alone. He picked up a dog called Savannah from an animal shelter in Texas. At first, he thought it would be useful to have a dog protecting him, but their two soon became perfect travel companions. He thought he would have trouble crossing borders with the dog, but he acquired a certificate proving that it was free of disease. As towards final, and since then the process been surprisingly simple. Tom usually walks about 38 kilometers a day, burning 5,000 calories daily. He has encountered a number of difficulties on their way, such as walking across the mountains and volcanoes of Guatemala. They were so steep that he could only manage about 10 miles a day. He carries just a tent, a sleeping bag and a few basic supplies, all of which he pushes in a baby stroller, as he found that it requires less effort than carrying a backpack. When he first started out, his legs ached at the end of the day. But he is now used to the exercise, although he makes sure to spend time at the end of the day stretching his legs. He had worn out several pairs of hiking boots already, each pair lasting 800 kilometers. Tom has an arrangement with a about friend in the States who mails him new pairs of sneakers whenever he needs them. He has had some great experiences along the way and is always surprised by the generosity and hospitality of strangers, who frequently welcome him into their homes. However, few of them believe him when he tells them that he has walked to South America on foot, assuming that he has made a mistake speaking Spanish. But eventually, they accept his story and are extremely impressed. Tom keeps a blog where he documents his travels and posts wonderful photographs that he has taken along the way. He had never been interested in photography before he started his trek, but now loves the art form. He hopes that after returning to the USA, he will be able to work as a travel writer or photographer.
4. Read the text as a whole and not to focus on each gap individually. Often candidates select the wrong answer by choosing an option that fits the text before the gaps, but neglect to check that the text after the gap continues smoothly. So remember, you have to check both or read both the sentences before the gap and also after the gap. For part 5, from the multiple matching, you need to understand detail, opinion or attitude and specific information. For the gap filling, remember only one word is required for each question. Answers that have more than one word will not earn the mark. Some gaps in this section can be answered by referring just to the immediate phrase or sentence, but other items will require you to understand the whole paragraph or the whole text.
Advantages of hobbies. A. Mina. I love reading books, especially non-fiction ones. For example, I am currently reading a book called The Unconquered, which focuses on a tribe of native Indians that lives in isolation in the Amazon forest. Every book I read teaches me something about the world and gives me a new perspective on life. Reading is a wonderful way to transport me to different places and times without actually leaving home. B. Peter. One of my favorite hobbies is cooking. Cooking has taught me so much about patience and focus because those two are essential ingredients to make delicious food. The more I cook, the better I get at it. Of course, I have also cooked food that did not turn out so well, but I learned from my mistakes and improved each time. I cook food that I enjoy eating. Best of all, it is generally cheaper and tastes better than eating out at most restaurants. C. Jasmine. Quite a few years ago, I decided to exercise regularly and it has been a wonderful hobby for me, although some may argue it is more of a necessity rather than a hobby, much like brushing your teeth. However, I really enjoy all sorts of exercise, going to the gym, lifting weights, running and walking. The longer I do it, the more I enjoy it. I have also met a lot of wonderful people who share this passion. D. Alicia. Edible gardens have become popular nowadays. I started growing my first edible garden several years ago. Not only does my garden provide me with herbs and vegetables that I can use in my favorite dishes, it also provides me with a healthy and totally organic food source. I love knowing exactly what goes into my cooking. Though gardening requires some patience, it is worth it when I get to dig into a plate of my own fresh produce. E. Henry. It was 3 years ago when I decided to take up fishing. Initially, I saw this as a time commitment that I could not really afford, but once I was able to find the time in my busy schedule to be in nature, it has helped me to leave my hectic life aside for a while. Fishing has allowed me to relieve stress and become more relaxed, and in turn, it has helped me to improve my relationship with other people too. F. Nick. Sitting with a guitar and learning to strum the chords to my favorite song helps improve my concentration. Learning to play the guitar helps develop hand-eye coordination as my hands, fingers and mind work together to combine notes, chords, and scales. To me, playing the guitar has the same benefits as journaling. The instrument helps me to express myself and acts as a creative channel to communicate my feelings to others or even just to myself.
Well, students, that's all for this reading trial paper. So all the best in your SPM exam. Bye.